had a lot of fun with everything. I think the one that we all agreed on instantly was Neil Fallon as an Ewok. You know, we're still apologizing to him because we know he's never going to let it down. Eddie has a special place in our heart, so he has to be the biggest character in Star Wars. It couldn't be anyone else, even though it kind of breaks with canon. Eddie never speaks. Darth Vader does. He has that really famous voice. But we kind of thought, you know, as the guy, you know, who is the embodiment of evil, and yet there is good in him, well, it kind of fit rather well. I think Max Cavalera as the Jedi Master Yoda is just a perfect fusion. You know, we kind of, we weren't sure how he's going to feel about getting gigantic ears and being green and effectively like 3 apples tall. But we kind of thought, like, as this kind of overseer of our world, you know, just like this sort of pillar of creativity and credibility and integrity, he is the sort of very convincing embodiment, I think, of what Yoda represented as a character as well, which is he's not just good, he is a genuine master. He's the one who teaches successive generations. And, you know, I think it looks pretty good for 900 years. Zakk Wylde as Chewbacca, you know, I actually got told a great story by Scott Ian about how he actually got annoyed in an arm wrestling contest once and ripped a table that was bolted to the floor out of the floor and threw it through a window. This is like out in Japan. So if ever there was like a living Wookiee, then it's got to be Zakk Wylde, right? Rob Flynn is Qui-Gon. You know, he was an interesting one because he really wanted to be Darth Vader. He really wanted to be Darth Vader. In fact, he sent us pictures of him with all of his Darth Vader stuff, and he's like, I have to be Darth Vader. And we totally get it, but his facial hair is so much like Qui-Gon, and he looks like that guy, and to be honest, it had to be Eddie. There was just no other way, so we're sorry, Rob. Maybe next time. Dengar is a bit of a strange one. Bill Keeler from Mastodon has to be the biggest Star Wars fan I've ever met in my life. I mean, I thought I was bad, but he is just magnificent. What's interesting about him is that he actually revealed to me that he still has dreams where he's walking through a forest and then he discovers like a clearing where he's found like all the toys. Like he stumbled upon the ultimate cache of Star Wars action figures, you know, which is, I can relate to completely. And when we told him about the cover, he was way into it instantly. But he had a request. He's like, I've got to be Dengar, you know, which if you're a Star Wars nerd like me, you'll appreciate because, you know, he never really appeared in any of the films, and yet there was an action figure and the source of hours, almost a lifetime of playground debate, whether he actually was in the films or not. The list goes on and on, and just like all these sort of great things. But what's interesting is the ones that we didn't settle on, the ones that we couldn't quite place and so on, you know, because there are some really major characters in that world. We weren't going to make anyone Jar Jar, obviously.